Everybody's been talking about the Warriors' big moves, the stars, the contracts, the rotations, but sometimes championships don't come down to the loudest names. Sometimes it comes down to one final move, one last bullet, one veteran shot that changes everything. And right now, there's one name quietly floating around the league that could be the Warriors' final puzzle piece: Eric Gordon. Think about it for a second. The playoffs aren't about who looks good in January. They're about who can survive in May. Tight games, short rotations, one possession that flips an entire season. And in those moments, experience matters. Shot-making matters. Fearlessness matters. And that's where this conversation gets real. Golden State has always been built on spacing, movement, and trust. Trust that the next pass will be there. Trust that the open shot will fall. Trust that when defenses collapse on Stephen Curry, someone else will punish them for it. But here's the truth nobody wants to say out loud. Playoff basketball is brutal. Defenses load up, shooters hesitate, role players disappear, and suddenly the Warriors need someone who doesn't blink. That's where Eric Gordon enters the picture. This isn't about hype. This isn't about jersey sales. This is about a player who's been through wars, deep playoff runs, elimination games, pressure situations where the crowd is screaming and the margin for error is zero. Gordon has lived in those moments. He understands them. And more importantly, he's comfortable there. Imagine this scenario. Curry draws two defenders at half court. The defense rotates, the ball swings. Draymond finds the corner, and standing there is Eric Gordon. Feet set, hands ready, no hesitation. That's not a hypothetical fantasy. That's a real basketball sequence that has decided playoff series before. Golden State's offense is at its most dangerous when defenses are terrified of everyone on the floor. Not just the stars, everyone. When the fifth option can burn you, schemes fall apart. And Gordon has made a career out of punishing defensive mistakes. But let's zoom out for a moment, because this isn't just about shooting. The playoffs are about adaptability. Coaches shorten rotations. Bench minutes become battlefield minutes. One bad stretch from a young player can cost a game. And that's where veterans become priceless. Eric Gordon doesn't need touches to stay engaged. He doesn't need plays called for him to make an impact. He knows how to stay ready. He knows how to pick his spots. And he knows how to survive when the game slows down. Now think about Golden State's identity. This franchise has always valued players who understand systems over players who chase numbers. That's why veterans thrive here. That's why certain players look reborn in this uniform. The ball moves, the floor opens, the pressure eases, and suddenly a player like Gordon isn't forcing shots. He's taking the right ones. And let's be honest, there will be nights in the playoffs when Curry is tired, when legs are heavy, when defenses are relentless. On those nights, Golden State needs someone who can create just enough offense to keep things afloat. A pull-up three, a hard drive, a smart pass. Eric Gordon brings that balance. But here's the part fans aren't talking about enough. Defense by committee. No, Gordon isn't a lockdown defender, but he understands positioning, he understands rotations, he doesn't gamble. And in playoff basketball, discipline matters more than highlight plays. One blown rotation can erase 3 good possessions. Gordon's experience minimizes those mistakes. Picture the bench unit. The Warriors stagger their stars, the offense slows, the crowd gets restless. That's when a steady veteran presence changes the energy of the game. One timely bucket, one confident shot, one calm decision that reminds everyone the plan is still intact. This is why championship teams don't just sign talent, they sign answers. Eric Gordon is an answer. He's an answer to teams that trap Curry relentlessly. He's an answer to zones that dare role players to shoot. He's an answer to playoff moments when youth meets pressure and flinches. And here's the wild part. This move wouldn't dominate headlines. It wouldn't break social media. But inside the league, coaches would notice. Opponents would adjust, because they know exactly what Gordon can do if left alone. Golden State's front office has always understood timing. They don't chase noise, they chase fit. And if there's one thing Eric Gordon fits, it's the Warriors' playoff DNA. The spacing becomes lethal. The second unit becomes stable. The closing lineups become flexible. Suddenly, Steve Kerr has options, and options win playoff series. And let's not forget chemistry. Veterans respect veterans. Stars trust players who've been there before. When the game is on the line, nobody wants uncertainty. They want reliability. They want someone who's taken that shot before and lived with the result. Eric Gordon has lived with it. Misses, makes, cheers, silence. He understands the weight of the moment, and that calm is contagious. Imagine Chase Center in a tight Game 6. The score tied. 2 minutes left. Curry draws the defense. The ball swings. Gordon catches it. No hesitation. The shot goes up. That's the kind of moment that defines a season. Not flashy, not loud, just decisive. This is why the Warriors' potential interest in Eric Gordon isn't random. It's calculated. It's about completing the roster, not decorating it. It's about playoff insurance. It's about one last piece that turns a great team into a terrifying one. And if this signing happens, don't be surprised when analysts look back and say, that was the move that mattered. Because championships are rarely won by the biggest splash. They're won by the final shot, and Eric Gordon might just be that shot.